What is going on, everybody? Sorry not to make the earlier slate. I hope everybody's doing well out there. I hope you guys had some good results. Looked like there was a couple people who had some nice hits in chat. Always love to see it for true DFSers. Let's get it tonight. And yeah, we've got kind of an interesting little slate for a small slate. I think there's a lot of different stacks you could argue are the most viable. And personally, because of the ownership, I'm sort of inclined to want to fade most of the Phillies, but man, it feels like a pretty great spot. I'll tell you that. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure where. The only argument is, can I get more from Toronto at lower ownership, and from the lower ownership of the Dodgers, who we should have known even on a full slate they would kind of put together a big game even against Burns. And then the other one being St. Louis, who I'm totally fine with, but I think I'm leaning more Dodgers, Houston. And more Houston, just some bats to pick off Bundy, some power, and Toronto. That's sort of the route I'm going. As far as pitching goes, it's really interesting because I think that, McClanahan versus the Angels certainly makes sense. The Angels are terrible, et cetera, et cetera. But I personally am trying to spend down a little bit because I like the Dodgers and Astros and Blue Jays, so it's kind of tricky. Oh, the Cheats is here. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
How's it going? How's your day slate?
Not good.
But yeah, nice little interesting evening slate. I'm curious what you're going to do because I didn't get a chance to check out the video earlier.
Yeah, so I just redid the projection, so I'm looking. What I'm inclined to do is play the Dodgers. That's what I was first looking at. And the other teams I was looking at were the Astros, were the Dodgers and the Astros. I was originally thought that Toronto was going to be too chalky. For some reason, Philly's getting this ownership. I don't know where this
Philly,
is.
I get it. It's a terrible starting pitcher with a terrible bullpen in the great hitters park. But I'm okay with trying to fade that, even though I feel nervous about it as well. Like, I think that they're going to be the most owned team, and I in that case, I think why not? Why don't we just go with the Dodgers and Blue Jays and maybe some Astros in there? That's sort of what my slate looks like.
And as far as the pitching goes, I want to play. I want to play Giolito. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. Toronto. Baltimore has been really good against right-handed pitching lately.
No shit. And Giolito can't get anybody out.
Yeah, but I hear you. I actually am going to do something a little different, and I'm going to play Mikolas and Berrios.
Yeah, I was going to do something like that, but it was going to be more Giolito. I had ideas of like Giolito, Mikolas, or you know what I mean, or something like that. Berrios, I couldn't quite do it, but I had a feeling you were going to, so I was going to ask you about it.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you want guys who can compete with the top level guys, he is a guy who can put up as many fantasy points as anybody on this slate. Obviously, McClanahan will get there more often, but I mean, he just put up 30 against the Yankees last time out there. Berrios had no ownership, and now no one's going to play him again. And this Red Sox team is more of a scary thing by name. You've got strikeouts in that lineup now. Ref Schneider's leading off, and Kike, they moved up to fifth, who's been terrible this year. Frenchie Cordero, Bobby Dahlbeck, Reese McGuire, Jared. These are not. JD Martinez has been awful. I just feel like I'm going to take the shot with saving, and it's partly because I want to spend up for the Dodgers and Blue Jays, and potentially Houston as well. I'm a little surprised that Houston's total isn't a little higher, but you can certainly get different within those stacks if you feel like those stacks are even a little too chalky for you. And maybe what you do is with Houston, like I don't think anyone's playing Mancini tonight specifically, the bottom of the order obviously, and the Dodgers I think are just going to be way lower owned because the pricing on DraftKings. So I'm sort of forcing them in. That's what I'm
like. You like Chicago at all or St. Louis? White Sox or Cardinals?
No, Cardinals are fine with me. I'm not into the White Sox.
Okay.
I can't keep beating my head against this wall. It just feels crazy. They're just never good. They never get there, and I'm not going to do it. And Totally disagree with Eric Johnson's comment. No, Heaney does not suck at all. That's
no, but he doesn't suck. But you know what? He's just not. Hasn't been let loose yet. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, he's given up what this year in all of his starts. I believe he's given up a total of. Let me just get it right before I say it wrong. So he's given up 7 runs in 7 starts. Why you?
Wow, we haven't blocked anybody in a while. You want to do the honors for JB Wave here?
Oh, go ahead. What is he doing? Oh, I don't even. Wow, that's a really weird thing to say. There we go. He's gone.
He had a good run though.
Yeah, it's been a while. We really haven't had much in a while, but those guys. I mean, people are just. What kind of lives are you living doing that? It's just.
It's been so long, you know.
I know. But yeah, no, I have no love at all for the Brewers. Yeah, Heaney's been a guy historically who's given up some power and has a wideish range of outcomes. I actually think Heaney is completely viable tonight as a pitcher. He struck out 10 of these guys in 4 2/3. Got worked a little too deep into some counts and gave up some home runs. But I personally am not on the Brewers side at all tonight. I don't. Could it happen? Sure, it's baseball, but I don't see why we need to try to. It's like going out of our way to just try to do something.
I'm going to tell you who really stinks. I mean, he's talking about Heaney stinks. Can I tell you who really stinks?
Heaney does not stink.
That guy Arena really stinks.
I told you, he's like the worst pitcher in baseball.
He is just a nut low.
He's so bad.
He couldn't get anybody out in that game. That was.
What did he have? -20 today or something?
They let him go. I don't know. Yeah, that's not. I couldn't believe Arena says, "Okay, Atlanta, you want to think you're going to be the highest scoring team on the slate? You watch what I can start going here." Texas, they just went past them. I think Texas has 15 now or 16.
Oh my God, I didn't look at the day slate really, so I didn't.
Yeah, Snell had -1.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good pitching options tonight. What are you doing with the pitching other than? Are you going to play?
That's what I'm saying. So I. Look, this is who I'm not playing. I'm not playing Christopher Sanchez. I talked about it in the video too. I just don't need it. I'm just between these 5 guys and how I mix them. It's McClanahan, Giolito, Mikolas, Berrios, and Gallen. You know what I mean? And it's just a matter of how I do it. If you play McClanahan, then you're playing teams like the Reds, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I don't mind some of the Reds' value, and I like you got, and also like St. Louis has some great value too. I mean, with Newt Barr at top, I actually think that you could argue for Gavin Sheets, and there is an argument to be made, I guess, more for the White Sox maybe than I'm not interested in them as like a whole, but
they're so cheap. Some of them,
you know what I mean? Like because
Pollock 3,200 leading off, Vaughn 3,600 hitting second. I mean.
Yeah, they're so cheap and they're so bad. They haven't scored more than 6 runs this month in a game. Oh, no, they did on the second. They are basically locked in between 2 and 4 runs every night. And I just couldn't make a team like that a priority. And they've shown no ability to hit right-handed pitching this season. There's guys who historically have, and every now and then maybe there'll be a spot you can go for, but I'm just not going to go for there personally. All right, what else?
The team I'm going to force in, as we alluded to, is the Dodgers. Dodgers, Blue Jays. Crap. Houston? You like Houston?
Yeah, I do. I think Houston, though, is more pick out a couple of home run, like especially Alvarez and Tucker. Those would be the guys I would go for Houston. But yeah, I think those are there's a lot of good stacks out there today. That's why I don't find any need to try and get overly creative with it. I'll play the Dodgers. I'll play the only 3 I'm really looking at are the Dodgers, Astros, and Blue Jays, because Philly is going to be crazy owned, and I like St. Louis fine. I just didn't find myself going there because I wanted to limit my number of stacks. So that's my only argument for not playing St. Louis is that I like the other team just a little bit better, but I think that they're totally legitimate as well. And I think those 5 stand out about the other ones. I don't see why we would stack the Diamondbacks. I mean, you can, sure, if you want to do it. I don't really see the arguments for how these are strong stacks. Brady Singer has been one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Yep.
And absolutely consistent, not giving up power or hard contact. He can get wild at times, but the strikeouts sort of negate that. Could it happen? Sure. Is there any reason to think it will? No. I don't see this. This is, this is not. It's a bad matchup. Brady Singer is more in play to me than the Arizona stacks are. Again, I don't find the need to try to get overly creative because the ownership is going to be spread between 5 different stacks. Actually, more 6, because I think the next team I would go to would be, you want a really low owned stack that could go nuts, is Tampa Bay. That might be something you could do if you wanted to get way off the board. And I would just much rather play that than I would anything from Arizona, KC, Cincinnati. I don't mind some of the cheap pieces, but I'm not going to stack them. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Gallen, McClanahan, Giolito, Mikolas. You playing any Valdez? I mean,
it's fine. I'm not doing it myself, but I think it's fine. It's just a lot to spend. I'm not going all the way up, and I'm taking my gamble on the Mikolas, Berrios, and Giolito, and I know it's a gamble, but that also will keep me a little bit not having to worry so much about having stacks be his own. And it also allows me to pay up for my hitters, because I don't know how these people are going to play McClanahan Valdez lineups or something like that, or even McClanahan.
I told you they're gonna end up with
Reds.
They're gonna end up with Reds. They'll play Gallen. If they play McCann. No, you know who they're gonna end up with? They're gonna end up with the cheap White Sox. That's what's gonna happen.
You're right about that, possibly. Although, yeah, you're right. I think that's true. Like Vaughn, Abreu, Moncada, Sheets, they're all cheap enough.
Pollock and Vaughn are hitting 1-2. I mean,
what's that?
And Pollock and Vaughn are hitting 1-2, and they're cheap.
Yeah. And I mean, look, it's not a bad matchup. Obviously, it's just I'm just tired of beating my head against this wall. This team just never ever gets there, and they have given us no signs to be optimistic. But if you're going to use, I would prefer for like a one-off of Sheets or Moncada or anybody really. But like, I don't really want to make a full stack out of them. And then they have the guy who hits the home run yesterday for them, and he's not even in the lineup today. So I don't know what the hell they're doing. Yeah,
you getting any 5-man for Dodgers or no?
Yeah, it's fine. I think you could use Barnes as a catcher, fill it out like price wise, but mostly my main stack right now is a 4-3-1, and then it was a 4-3-1. Now it's a 4-2-1-1 because they what's his name? Biggio was not in the lineup today, and neither was Alberto. But okay. I will play some Michael Massey today. At 2K, and I'll play some Nootbaar and I'll play some Senzel as my spend downs personally, or those other guys we mentioned from. It's interesting actually to think about Senzel versus. Do I really want to play Senzel over Sheets here? I don't know. That's actually a good question. I think Sheets might be the answer. Just a little more power. Why not? Just double checking the weather. 85 degrees there. Pretty good hitting weather.
Who's that other cheapo? The not Macy or I'm not doing that either.
Yeah, I'm playing at Massey.
Oh, the pitcher?
Oh no, I thought you were talking
not Macy. I forget his name. Another 5K guy.
The Angels pitcher? I
think so. I'm not doing that either. I'm just going over some stuff.
If somebody wants to do it, I think that's totally fine. I'm just not going to do it myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna force in some. I'm not gonna be as heavy on him as you, but I'm definitely gonna get some Berrios here. I like that idea.
Yeah. The Bello.
Toronto.
Yeah, look, if I know there's been some whatever words about Bello being good. He has been atrocious and has no leash.
Aside from that, let's go.
But yeah, go ahead if you want to play that. That's completely, that's on you.
You want to talk about your FanDuel?
Yeah, FanDuel. It's I did make a little bit of a mini Blue Jays and Phillies stack over there. I didn't have any Phillies on DraftKings, so I threw one stack in on FanDuel. It's pretty chalky, but I figure with the the Blue Jays at the bottom of the order, I think that'll keep it a little bit lower owned. So I like that. And again, you have Reds guys like Jonathan India, even though he's not having a great year, is an actual real hitter, and he's 2,700, so he stood out as a price thing. Schwarber obviously stands out at 3,200. Castellanos, pretty much all the Phillies are really going to be popular on FanDuel because they're easy to get to.
Right.
Yeah. So again, I have it Dodgers, Toronto, Houston, and the Dodgers. There's a range of outcomes here with Hauser. Like, I mean, he's all over the map. This guy. Sometimes I watch him and I think he's okay. Other times I think he's horrible. It's probably somewhere in between. But the Dodgers, it's just like you're just betting on the best team, I guess, too. Like, I mean, they went nuts last night against Burns. And
did they end up going nuts against him?
They scored 9 or 10 off of him.
I didn't even notice. That's so funny.
Yeah. I don't know who's been waiting for that Bello game, but I haven't. I think I played Brian Bello one start this season, and I don't think anything happened with it. I think so far he's had 5 starts, and he's been over. He's been in positive points 3 times and negative points the rest, and has not reached above 8 yet. So I can't bring myself to even talk about this. I would rather play Myers from the Angels if I had to get weird, or Sanchez from the Phillies. But I don't think you need to get quite that weird. And because I'm spending down, I'm not going to play Dylan Bundy, but I'll throw him out there as like make a hero play. Why not play a guy who, if everything goes well, at least can have a leash, you know? But it's too low strikeouts for me. I'd rather play Berrios and even Nicolas. I think is a good spot. It's a really good matchup for him. Especially, I believe Contreras is out of the lineup again for Chicago. Let me just double check that. Yeah, I really like this spot for Nicolas. So I'm going to be on Nicolas and Berrios as a combination.
Hey, you get away with that, you're a freaking champion, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and then you can play your team, my Dodgers and Blue Jays. I do feel really good about the Blue Jays hitting some home runs tonight, and I feel really good about. I'm pretty sure that at least a couple are going to come from Houston as well, but it's just I can't play. You know, that's why I'm just playing those 3 stacks: the Dodgers, Houston, and Toronto.
So and for those of you guys are here, if any of you guys play the golf tomorrow, I'll just give you like literally the 5-minute version of the whole video is 10 minutes, I think, 15 minutes. It's a 29-person slate. You know, 29 golfers. You know, it's you're probably going to end up duped. But if you want, I mean, you want to just attack it first of all like a showdown, meaning that intentionally leave money on the table, set ownership things. You know, you could certainly get away with that. But as somebody pointed out last year, I mean, I think the winner only split it with one person. It's pretty surprising actually. But the one guy I will give you, so the guy who's going to be the highest owned guy on the slate is going to be Rory, but the second most, if not maybe not more, is going to be Aaron Wise. Aaron Wise has been like just basically min priced over there, and he's going to be, depending on the buy-in, he's going to be anywhere between probably 35 to 70% owned, depending on where you are. If you want a couple of pivots, I talked about in the video. You can either play Tom Hoagie at 5,000 or
Poston.
Or JT Poston. Yeah. And JT Poston, he's going to be my highest owned guy under Rory. So that's going to be my my stand. There's Rory and Poston, and then a bunch of shuffle. And my one fade, I just had to take a stand on somebody against somebody. So I didn't play any Scheffler. I mean, no reason. I mean, he could certainly win. Yeah. You know. But I just took a shot against him. And then I just kind of shuffled, just to see what happens. Yeah, absolutely. Poston's my main deal.
How did what kind of ownership did you have Adam Scott getting?
Yeah, I thought Adam Scott. I actually had to force Adam Scott out. I was going to get like 40% of him. But I think he's a good play.
Yeah, I mean, I like him. I like Homa. I like JT and Rahm and Cam Smith this week.
Yeah.
That's my sort of main guys.
I had Adam Scott at 30% ownership.
Oh, so he's going to be really popular too. I thought so, but I just wanted to.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. How about Homa?
Homa, I have him at only 15.
Okay, I like Homa.
Which is like, if you think about it, I mean, it's like one of the lowest owned guys on the slate.
Right.
I mean, I ranked 29 guys, and he's ranked 25th in ownership. It's like,
right.
And the lowest owned guy on the slate, I mean, it can definitely, obviously can't win because he's got to make up all these points. But Hideki, I have as the lowest owned player on the slate.
Ooh, at what percentage?
12.5.
That's the lowest owned player is 12.5.
There's 29, only 29 golfers.
I know, but I thought there'd be somehow they'd sneak in like a, because every now usually like I thought KH Lee might be a little lower.
That's possible. I mean,
huh?
No, I had KH Lee at 22. I mean, these 6K guys. I mean, you could just jam these. You know. Like,
yeah, it's true. It's fair enough. Good luck to everybody. To everybody who keeps saying good luck, Eric and K9 and all those guys. Yeah.
Bello, no way is the Bello game been waiting for. Yeah, I haven't been waiting for him. Yeah, like he was saying, I've been.
No, I mean maybe down the road, but it's given us no signs of anything. I actually think that Heaney is a really interesting sneaky pitching option though because of his price. I don't think he's going to be as popular as he's projected, and they did let him throw more pitches in his last outing. And I think that he is. I mean, he obviously has upside. He's got great strikeout stuff. He threw 90 pitches or 89 pitches his last time out. If they're going to let him throw 90 plus again, which is definitely possible, at some point there it turns from not letting him overpitch to getting him gearing up for the playoffs. So if things are going well, maybe he gets into the mid 90s tonight and certainly could do enough against these Brewers who he just was baffling against. And then anytime they hit the ball, they hit a home run, but he did strike out 10 last time he faced them.
All right, so I'm going to tell you which. I already found my lineup that's going to win the 100,000. Is it 100 tonight?
Yeah, I think so.
The 15?
No, 50.
50? I mean, this is like just such a psychotic thing to do. So I have a lineup. This is one with Mikolas and Berrios, and leaving 1,900 on the table.
Hey, there you go. You don't even. That's not. I mean, that's not your main one, right?
No, it's just one lineup with a 5-man Dodger stack.
There you go. I love it. I really like that. All right. Anything else? I don't have a whole lot else to touch on. Sheets, I might have some issues about some things tomorrow. I have to make a trip to LA, but I could probably do it after.
You told me about that, but just a reminder, I'm going away tomorrow, but I'll be around to record, but I'll be leaving before live. So okay,
I'll talk to Rhodey and see if it's possible that he could cover, and if not, I can just try to do it from a Starbucks on my way down there or something like that.
Right.
All right. Well, Sheets, anything else before we bounce?
Yeah, who is Chucky Robinson?
I don't even know.
He's a 2K catcher from Cincinnati. He's starting tonight. And hold on, he's 27 years old.
That's not a great sign.
Has yet to make his MLB debut. This is it. This is the debut. The Chucky Robinson debut.
If I'm spending down, I'm probably using Barnes or Maldonado in stacks personally.
See, this is what happens. This is what's called the Saber Sim conundrum. Okay, so this lineup, the reason why I have Chucky Robinson is because I'm leaving 1,900 on the table. Is because I have two other Reds. So
wait,
so
they wanted to pair them all together. Yeah.
So they see him as rather than do a one-off for 3,900 with somebody who can actually play, they'd rather me have Chucky Robinson. But I mean, think about who else can I even do? I mean, like, you know what I could do? I could go Melendez if I want, and then pay up. I could play Mejia at 3,500. Is that worse?
Then I would rather play Mejia personally.
Right. Yeah, that's not bad. me see. So we don't like. So you said Tampa Bay. You don't mind, right?
No, I think that's your get sneaky stack. I mean, you've got Myers and the Angels bullpen behind them. Tampa Bay, never the most fun team to stack, but you go Brandon Lau, you go Rosarena, Peralta, maybe Andy or Harold Ramirez, and then Mejia. But G-Man Choi is 2.7, but he's down at the bottom of the order and may not be long for this game.
Nick Senzel is 2,200.
Yep.
Figure I'd throw that out there.
I think I prefer Sheets to Senzel for what it's worth. If you're just taking like a one-off, that's what I just did in my big buy-in, because you have much more power upside with Sheets than you do Senzel. And Senzel's got one home run and 100 at bats versus lefties this season. Let me grab Sheets' thing, but Sheets has hit 9 and 260 at bats. I mean, at least you've got the power possibility, which I think you're playing for, and they also have the higher run total, etc.
Yeah. I wonder who. Wonder what catcher I can play. If I played him. Oh, the White Sox don't have a second baseman tonight.
They always do that. They always have a weird lineup where they have no position. There's always one position missing. They are really cheap. I mean, I think people are going to play a lot of the White Sox, actually. I think you're going to see White Sox and Reds spread out a little bit. Shouldn't be a baseball player named Stuart Fairchild. It does not sound like a hitter. It doesn't.
I saw that
Fairchild.
Saw that before.
I feel like he's like a philosopher or something.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Choi batting 4th. That's a weird. I've got Choi batting 8th. Am I missing something? Did they change their lineup? I don't know where you see Choi batting 4th. I would love to see that. I've got him batting 8th. Does anybody else have Choi batting 4th? Because that is a big difference for guys.
I don't have him in my lineup, so I don't know. I can't.
But I'm just curious.
Right.
I don't know where he's getting that from. It seems like just a bad piece of information is my guess.
Here's another beauty coming out of the Cincinnati. We got Alejo Lopez playing.
Yeah. Jump on board.
There's just got to be a better way than playing Lopez. Look at all these dudes. You're the aforementioned Nick Madrigal is leading off. He'll probably get some ownership. Let's see. I'm not playing him. Matone. Has Nick Matone ever hit a home run? Yeah, he's hit a home run. He's got 2. Just look at some of these lineups where I have like $1 million left on the table. Oh, this one's pretty strong. I can't get rid of this. Oh, look at this sneaky one-off of Rhys Hoskins I have. I gotta keep that. Giolito. Yeah, I think, are people going to jump over themselves to play Romy Gonzalez for the White Sox? Just throwing some guys. Just wondering why all these guys are going to be popular. You know, it's like some of these guys are really bad in this White Sox lineup. Some of them are good though. Abreu 39.
I'm probably going to get out of here because I don't have a whole lot more to add, and I'm just going to finish some builds.
Okay.
But good luck to everybody tonight. Good luck, Sheets. Good luck, everybody out there. Hopefully, we'll see some screenshots in Discord.
All right, I'm gonna fly as well. Good luck.